Hey, welcome back to the Six Figure Mastermind. We're talking cool Instagram photo ideas. Change your perspective, get a different view on things, take it from a professional in the industry of 20 years. Stay tuned, I'm going to show you my secrets. You know, Instagram is all about the pictures. It's all about the videos, all about the visual stuff that you see. And let's face it, it can get kind of monotonous sometimes when you feel like you have to post picture after picture after picture after picture, and you're kind of running out of ideas. So I want to give you some tips and tricks from a professional photographer on the funnest, most engaging pictures that you're going to be putting on Instagram. Okay, first things first. Behind the scenes. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you what some of these ideas look like. But people want to see behind the scenes. People, when they're on Instagram, they're interested in you. They want to know what your life is like, what's going on. Let's face it, being vulnerable is the new thing. You know, people want to see all the mess. I remember I was watching a Facebook Live by Christina Kuzmic, and I love this woman. She's absolutely amazing. And one of the most favorite things that she did on her Facebook Live is she just had gotten home from her son's prom, and she had her Facebook Live walking around her house, and she's like, you know what, let me show you what my bathroom is like right now, because I ain't perfect. And she walks into her bathroom and she said, okay, here's what this looks like for me to get ready. She's got makeup all over the place, different color palettes everywhere. They're like clothing on the counter and towels hanging up and over the shower, and it was her behind the scenes look. Now, she looked very dolled up because she had just gone to this homecoming, looked great, but this behind the scenes peek is what she gave us. So let me show you a little bit what that looks like when you go to Instagram. Now, if you look at my Instagram feed here, you know that's a picture of me, it's a picture of my friend Christina. Now, we've got our feed right here, but let me go over to my photos and I will show you what a behind the scenes picture looks like. Now, if we were filming right here in our studio and I would say, okay, if we're about to start our filming day, I've got my behind the scenes pic right here. Now you can see that, you know, we've got our photo, we've got a little bit of the wall you can see over here. This is ready for filming day, okay? That's one version of the behind the scenes pic. So people want to see that, they want to check that out. Another kind of photo that you can put in there is to change up the angle of your image. I'll show you a little bit about what that looks like on my personal Instagram feed here. I've got my blog feed up here, and we've got some different pictures with different angles on them. This is the one I want to show you. So last week I went to Disneyland with a good buddy of mine, and one of my favorite things to see at Disneyland is this person holding these millions of balloons, right? It's this tiny person, it's like Up, the movie, right? With the guy that it feels like he's gonna float away any moment. And I saw those and I was like, oh, those look so cool. All the balloons are the same color. They've got this red string on it. So I actually went over there and I took my phone and I held it underneath the person's hand who was holding all those balloons. And it had this cool, like, stripy effect with all the strings and all the balloons that were being held from underneath. And I thought that is an image that not many people are gonna get to see unless they're like 2 years old, right? Looking up at all the balloons. Think outside the box when it comes to angles and perspectives. Think outside the box, especially when you're taking selfies about different angles and ideas and how people can see the world with different perspectives. That's going to be a great idea. So change up that angle. My favorite things to do on Instagram, it's kind of like the behind the scenes, but it's what's inside. And huge shout out to our what's inside friends over on YouTube. Those are a cool bunch of guys. But if you ever want to give people a sneak peek as to what's inside with what you're working on, that's a great idea. Now let me give you an example. The other day, I was at a conference all day long, and before I left, my little daughter, who was 2 years old, locked my bedroom door and shut it. Now, you'd think that wouldn't be such a problem, and it's never happened to me before, but when I moved into the house that I'm currently living in, that bedroom door had a keyed lock, and guess what? I never owned the key. I don't know where it went. I don't know if it ever existed, but now I was literally locked out of my bedroom. Luckily, no one was in there, and nothing perishable was in there. And I got home at the end of the day, and I thought, I don't have a key, I don't know how to get in this bedroom, and I have to look up on YouTube all these different ideas how to pick a lock, and none of them were working. Like, I literally spent 2 hours trying to open that door until, you know what, I was like, I gotta get the master key out for this one. And here's what my master key looked like. Check out my phone here. So I actually had to go to my closet, and it's like, what, 12:30 in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I have no key. all the lock picking things aren't working, the credit card thing's not working. I used all of my Facebook resources, nothing is working. So I grabbed what I call the master key, which otherwise known as a hammer, and I hammered my doorknob off the door because that was my only option. Like the warrior in me just came out and I hammered it off. So this was my what's inside. I was like, oh, okay, now I'm super curious. What does this doorknob look like on the inside? So I have this picture of, I found my master key. Here's what this looks like on the inside. Here's what it looks like inside my life. Yes, I'm a professional. Yes, I'm a businesswoman. Yes, I'm a mother. But this is a look not only inside a doorknob, but what's going on inside my life. So take pictures of what's inside. Tip I have for you is to use an app called Boomerang. There's a couple apps that you need to have when you have an Instagram account that are a must. One of them is Boomerang and the other one is Layout. Go download both of them right now. Like seriously, pull out your phone, download both of them. You need them. This app, Boomerang, is really, really fun to use with Instagram. Let me show you what it looks like here. It looks like this little infinity symbol, and yes, you're going to give it access to your camera, and you're going to allow, and look, it says tap to shoot, make some funny faces. We're going to go ahead and do that and go, what? And it's going to create this little what thing going on in Boomerang. Now I can send this right over to Instagram right here, and that's going to create some interaction. It's going to create some conversation. And now that we've got that Boomerang recorded, we can go ahead and post it in Instagram. It's already saved in your camera roll, so if you click plus right here, you're going to see it's the latest thing on my camera roll. There's my Boomerang, and I can totally put filters on that, do whatever we want. But Boomerang's going to add just 5 seconds worth of interaction. It's going to loop it for you so people don't have to, rewatch it. It just plays on a loop. So Boomerang's super, super fun for that. Okay, the next one I want to tell you about is something called glimpses. Now, in a photography world, I use that term to capture little snippets of my world. So let me show you what that looks like in the photos. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Photos app right here. And I'm going to go to my albums and I gather an album specifically for this video, and this is one that I share for glimpses. Now this is a photo that I took with my DSLR down on the beach in Mexico just a couple years ago. Now it looks like your average beach, blue everything, blue sky, but I've got this little bird down here that is just a glimpse, right? So if I were to put that on Instagram, I would zoom in like that, or maybe even make it a little bit off center and in a square crop, and just make that a glimpse. And a glimpse is something that doesn't necessarily show the whole picture, but it's a little bit of a teaser. So you can show pieces of pictures. One of my favorite ways to do that is with baby photography. I'll get the little glimpse of their toes that are so cute, or a little glimpse of their hands by their mouth that's so cute. Anything that's not the full picture we call a glimpse. And as long as it creates a nice image on its own, it'll be a nice conversation starter for your Instagram feed. Feature I want to talk to you about is the collage. Now remember that I told you need 2 additional apps for Instagram. You need Boomerang, which we already talked about, and you need Layout. So I'm going to open up Layout right over here. Looks like it's got those 3 squares. Yeah, we like everything about Layout, and we're going to be able to draw and put our pictures together in a beautiful little collage, however we want it, okay? If we do this, we are going to go to our camera roll here. I'm going to go actually to that. You go into your Boomerang app. You can actually go into specific folders on your phone for your photos. And I'm going to go into my filming folder and say, okay, which ones do I want to put in a collage? Well, I'm going to select these 4, actually those 3. I want to put those together. And it's going to show me a layout right up top. So I can select a layout that, looks good. I'm actually thinking that this first layout is probably my favorite, and I can go in here and I can actually move photos around. I can recenter them. I can shift them just a little bit. Maybe I'll zoom that one in and move it over so it can be centered, and move that down just a little. And then I can create a nice little collage with these images, and boom, have this nice little cohesive image. When I save that, it's going to save it as one image. And this is great for photographers. If you've got a great family shoot that you put together, then I can go ahead and publish it to Instagram or Facebook, or just save that image. Now I'm going to actually not post directly to Instagram from Boomerang or Layout, because that's going to change how Instagram sees the picture. So once I have that, I'm going to click Done, and then when I go over to Instagram, I go into the account that I want to put that in, and I click Add, and boom, there's my image, all ready to go. Those pictures are all put together in one collage. Now, don't overwhelm your account with one specific kind of photo. If you put all collages in there, it's going to be messy. So you break these up just a little bit. Okay, the last image series that I want to talk to you about and kind of creating interesting images for Instagram is color. You don't think about it, but it's one of the first things you see when you see an image on Instagram is its color. So I have this image right here that I pulled up. Now, I went to my son's kindergarten class one day, and I was the teacher's helper. I was the room mom for the day. And one of those tasks was to take all of these crayons that were all mixed up in different boxes and organize them by color. And the little OCD part of me got super excited, and I spent the next hour organizing crayons. And I felt so satisfied when I was done that I took a picture, and I was like, I gotta post this to Instagram. So I took this picture of all these different colors right here, and the theme of the picture is the color itself. The crayons themselves aren't that interesting. The Tupperware certainly not that interesting, but the overall color, that is what's interesting, and you can use that as a photo on Instagram. You can also design your feed by color. So let's say you post 9 pictures that are all about blues, and then 9 pictures that have some greens, and 9 pictures that have some yellows, and you move that color wheel up as you post pictures on your Instagram feed. It's a great way to make individual images pop, but it's also a great way to have your entire feed be a cohesive magazine spread, just like we talked about in some of our other videos. So those are just a few different versions. That's 7 different ways to do Instagram photos. Again, mix them up. Make sure that your Instagram feed is a cohesive unit, and don't overload on one specific kind of image. Okay, I want to see your ideas. In fact, comment below with the weirdest spot you've ever taken a photo. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I will see you tomorrow.